The manufacturing of semiconductor chips is a complex and lengthy process involving many steps and specialized equipment. Here is a simplified overview of the process, using a case study approach. Case study: manufacturing a microprocessor chip. Design. The first step is to design the chip using specialized software. This involves defining the functions of the chip, the layout of the transistors and other components, and the connections between them. The design process can take months or even years depending on the complexity of the chip. Wafer fabrication. The next step is to fabricate the silicon wafer. This involves growing a large single crystal of silicon which is then sliced into thin wafers. The wafers are then polished to a mirror-like finish. Photolithography. The first step in the actual chip manufacturing process is photolithography. This involves coating the wafer with a light-sensitive material called photoresist. A mask, which is a transparent plate with the circuit pattern on it, is then placed over the wafer. The wafer is then exposed to ultraviolet light, which hardens the photoresist in the areas that are not covered by the mask. Etching. The next step is etching. This involves using chemicals to remove the unhardened photoresist, leaving behind the circuit pattern on the wafer. Doping. The next step is doping. This involves adding impurities to the silicon to change its electrical conductivity. This is done by exposing the wafer to a gas containing the desired impurities. The next step is deposition. This involves adding thin layers of other materials, such as metals or insulators, to the wafer. This is done using a variety of techniques, such as chemical vapor deposition, or CVD, and sputtering. The next step is planarization. This involves polishing the wafer to remove any bumps or unevenness. This is important because it ensures that the subsequent layers of material will be deposited evenly. The final step is testing. This involves using specialized equipment to test the chips to make sure that they work properly. Chips that pass the tests are then packaged and shipped to customers. The entire process of manufacturing a semiconductor chip can take several months. It is also a very expensive process, requiring billions of dollars of investment in specialized equipment. The manufacturing process is constantly being improved and refined. This is necessary to keep up with the ever-increasing demand for smaller, faster, and more powerful chips. The semiconductor industry is a global industry, with companies all over the world involved in the design, manufacture, and testing of chips. The semiconductor industry is also a very competitive industry, with companies constantly vying for market share. I hope this overview has been helpful.